Hey everyone, it is I, Hellgear, and today is going to be a Q&A session. People have asked me various things about the game EarthNight, and I'm going to take this time to answer these questions to the best of my knowledge. So, if you guys find any of what I'm about to tell you in these answers informative, show your love, hit the like button. And always, if you have any questions that you might want to ask of me who involves this wonderful game called EarthNight, feel free to leave these questions in the comment section below, and I will answer them to the best of my knowledge. Anything else, I'll just leave to Cleaversoft themselves to answer. So, let's begin, shall we? First question. What interested you, Hellgear, about the story of EarthNight? Well, to really answer that question, you have to understand the story of this game. And my take on the story of this game is essentially this. At some point in the future, dragons, whether they be extraterrestrially made or made by the human race, have made a full-scale invasion on Earth. And you know how people are when it comes to invading extraterrestrial threats, which, ironically enough, this isn't really extraterrestrial threats per se, it's just a whole bunch of dragons. We use all the weapons at our disposal. You know, fighter jets, tanks, missiles, warheads, that sort of thing. But against the wave upon wave upon wave upon wave upon wave of dragons, this did absolutely nothing. With nothing working, most of humanity essentially hopped into these ships and shot up into the atmosphere. But in the process of that, not every ship made it out alive. And that's denoted by all the scraps that you can find. Think of the game Metal Slug 3, where they get to the final mission, but after your guy gets abducted and they launch off in the rockets into space, and you see all that debris and stuff. Similar premise. Next question. What system are you playing this on, and what system can I play this on? I'm currently playing the Nintendo Switch version of EarthNight. It's also on PlayStation 4, I believe Steam, and the Apple Arcade. So, multiple platforms for you to play this on. And if I'm wrong, let me know in the comments section below. I thought there was an Xbox version of this game. Next question. What is the story about the layers of the game and their scientific reference? Semicolon, how realistic would it be for Stanley and Sydney to jump from where they are in space all the way to the planet? Okay, I'll talk about this because this is a really good question. I'll talk about this in the best way I can. And because science is one of my better subjects in school and college, I have a little bit of a gist on this, but I'll try to do it without being super boring science guy, because nobody likes that guy. He's a jerk. As you know, the game has various levels, and each level is a layer of the planet's atmosphere. We start the game jumping out from our scout ship in what is called the thermosphere. Now, the thermosphere is, contrary to belief, not the highest part of our atmosphere. There's still two more spheres of our atmosphere, the exo and ionosphere. Anyway, the thermosphere is known for two things. One, this is the part of our atmosphere with the very, very thin air. I mean, it's very light. The oxygen up in the thermosphere it's rarely there. It's super, super light. It's like taking a quick breath of air level of oxygen. And two, it is also the hottest part of our atmosphere. So contrary to the schoolgirl dress that Sydney wears and Stanley's nice pants and sweatshirt and sword, it's actually rather hot there, getting a couple of 100 degrees realistically. Now, as we all know, dragons can withstand heat. So, obviously, in the thinnest airs of space, they have no problems dealing with the hot temperatures. The second stage is the Mesosphere. The Mesosphere is known for two things. One, contrary to the Thermosphere, the Mesosphere is actually the coldest part of our atmosphere. And two, the Mesosphere is also the part of our atmosphere where things start to burn up upon entry or re-entry to the planet. Now, realistically, on a space jump from the Thermosphere to EarthNight, all the way down to the planet, this would be the end of Stan's journey. He would be dead here. Man, great. Mindfully, if he can survive being a complete frozen mess, he would burn up upon re-entry, since his only means of protection is a sword. I mean, sure, he could grab one of the shields all the way down, but it doesn't matter how fast you fall through the Mesosphere, that shield isn't going to last for long, and you're going to, if you aren't dead from being a complete full-body popsicle, you'd be nothing but burnt up ash in the wind. And the first thing to go on Stanley would be that afro on his face. Now, Sydney, on the other hand, I think could actually survive this part of the atmosphere. Granted, her evil dragon spirit is enveloping her body. She'd have to be fully encased in her dragon spirit, like when she dashes upon getting one of the many loaves in the game. She's completely encased or enveloped in her evil dragon spirit, which apparently rests in her hand or her arm. If her evil dragon spirit is completely surrounding her, it would be able to withstand, theoretically, withstand the heat of burning up into the Mesosphere, going into the next part of our atmospheres. Now, the chemosphere is a little bit of a trick to describe because in some instances, it's not really a part of the atmosphere. It's actually this weird device. Don't listen to those answers. The real thing with the chemosphere is that it's a very thin layer that's at the top of the stratosphere. It sits at the top of the stratosphere. And it's known for having chemical and photochemical reactions, hence the name chemosphere. A lot of radioactive chemical phenomena occur here. The fact that it's also the thinnest part of our atmosphere explains why it is the shortest level free-falling in the entire game. Next up is the stratosphere, the second to last part of the game and the second part of the planet's atmosphere. The stratosphere is known for a couple of things. First and foremost, the stratosphere has the ozone layer, and we all know what the ozone layer does. It protects us from harmful UV rays that are absorbed in the thermosphere. Also, on the lowest parts of the stratosphere is where you will find airplanes flying. I don't know how many of you have actually flown on airplanes, but the altitudes that many airplanes that would fly, whether it's cross-country or across the planet, are flying in this lowest part of the stratosphere because that's where the jet stream is, and it helps with smoother flights. So if you fly on something like Delta Airlines and you're going across country or something like that, and the captain says, we're flying at an altitude of 35,000 feet, well, you're in the stratosphere. Albeit the lowest part of the stratosphere, but you're in the stratosphere nonetheless. This is also an area where you'll see hot air balloons go. And hot air balloons usually don't go any higher than this, contrary to that one Pokemon episode where the Pidgey went as close to being in the outer space as possible because it started to freeze. Yep, it went to, guess where? That's right, the Mesosphere. And then, of course, there's the last part, which is EarthNight herself. Now, the funny thing is, and this is a bit of a spoiler alert, this next sentence, to those of you who haven't managed to get this far, you don't really land on the planet when you go to EarthNight. You're still falling into the air. So, I believe that EarthNight resides in the Stratosphere. And the Stratosphere is essentially the main part of the atmosphere that we all live in. It starts at ground level and then it goes up. This is where we are. You know, the smaller planes like to fly here in the Stratosphere. They don't go as high. So like the private jets and stuff like that, or if you go to like an airport base and you see those small airplanes that like to fly a couple 100 feet in the air and whatnot, they're flying in the Stratosphere. Next question. Did you get any new power-ups as of late? Actually, let's talk about the power-ups. I did get a couple of new ones, so I'll just show them off to you. First and foremost, I actually got an upgrade to the Pixel Juice. So this is the fully maxed out Pixel Juice, as you can see it. And then I got these guys, the Chombo Mega Boots. These spike bouncy double jump combo boots let you bounce around the room like a champ. It's essentially the combination of all three of the boots. The spike boot, the bouncy boot, and the double jump boot. Yeah, all three of those boots in one run, and you'll get the Chombo boots. I'm in the process of upgrading the Dark Energy Sword, by the way. Gotta get those red stone eggs. Next question. Ooh, this is a good one. I'm sure Cleaversoft, if they're listening to this question, would elaborate a bit further, but I'm just going to answer it to the best of my abilities anyway. How many dragons can you slay in one full run of EarthNight? Okay, little bit of a spoiler alert for this game. I might as well talk about the levels of said jump from space to the planet. Whether you slay the first dragon or not your first time through EarthNight, after you jump off that dragon and it tells you that you're in the Thermosphere, you'll see a checklist on the lower right side of the screen of 4 dragons. And this checklist is there for the Thermo, Meso, and Stratosphere. From my experiences, you can only land on a total of 3 dragons in those 3 spheres as you descend to the ground. Then, of course, there is the Crystal Dragon in the Chemosphere and EarthNight herself. From what I've been told, somewhere in the Stratosphere, there is a warp that takes you right back up to the Thermosphere. But in the process of activating this warp, you also activate a secret dragon that resides in the Thermosphere, which apparently is that weird skeleton dragon that's all white. So, if you have the skill and the health to do it, a full run would consist of you're falling on 3 dragons in the Thermosphere, 3 dragons in the Mesosphere, the Crystal Dragon in the Chemosphere, Then you have your first round of dragons in the Stratosphere. Finding the warp back to the Thermosphere to A, get the fourth dragon that you need to slay in the Thermosphere and land on the secret dragon. Then you would get the fourth dragon in the Mesosphere. Now, if you slayed the crystal dragon in the Chemosphere, one of two things is going to happen your second time around. You'll either fall straight through the Chemosphere, or you'll slay a second crystal dragon. And that's something I'm going to leave to Cleaversoft, because at this time, I have yet to slay even one crystal dragon, so I don't know. Then on your second way through the Stratosphere, you'll slay whatever dragons you have left of those four. So if you didn't slay... So if you managed to slay 2 dragons, and then activated the warp that takes you back to the Thermosphere, your second time through the Stratosphere, you'd slay the other 2 dragons. And then EarthNight herself. So, including the warp, you have 5, 9, 10, 15, 16, possibly 17 dragons that you would be able to slay. And that would be the full EarthNight run. Granted, if you didn't do the full EarthNight run where you warp back up to the Thermosphere, you would essentially be able to slay 9 dragons in one run. 3 dragons in the Thermo, Meso, and Stratosphere, the Crystal Dragon in the Chemosphere, and EarthNight herself. Next question. Helgir, what's the importance of collecting scrap? You mean other than upgrading your items? Collecting scrap gets you the currency in the game, which is water. And once your tank gets big enough, you can either choose to collect dragon parts, which gets you new items, or you can buy things. Sip my drink there. Next question. Oh, speaking of the items, is it better to buy items or get them naturally? That all depends on you. I personally would like to unlock the items naturally, but like the items that you get in the Stratosphere, I actually do prefer that you buy them once you get your tank large enough. Some of you may not want to buy the items in the 4th row, and you'd rather slay the dragons corresponding with them, and for good reason too, because if you buy a particular item, once you've bought it, it actually checks off the checklist of the particular dragon you're supposed to slay to earn the item normally, which is something I find it's unfortunate that it acts like that. And I hope that when Cleaversoft updates this game, because they are planning to update the game, that they actually remove that instance. So even though you've actually bought, like, say, the pixel juice, if you buy the pixel juice, but you didn't slay the dragon associated with giving you the pixel juice, it wouldn't be checked off on your checklist. You'd still have to, okay, you bought the item that you would normally get if you slayed this dragon, and I'd give it to you anyway, because you've earned it. That, you know, sure, you paid for the item in water, you still gotta slay the dragon anyway, because eventually you're gonna have to slay the dragons, because that's how you upgrade a lot of your stuff. Next question. What is the maximum tank capacity? That's a good question. At this time, My tank holds 1,000 liters, and I can upgrade it to the 5,000 liter tank. I think that the 5,000 liter tank is the largest water tank that you can get in this game. I could be wrong. When I get the 5,000 liter tank, I'll know for certain. Next question, how do combo items work? And this is something I'm finding out on the fly because I actually unlocked combo items doing just that. So, from this green blade, which is the Twilight Sword and the Twilight Loaf, all the way down to the Chombo Mega Boots, and possibly that weird leaf above the Twilight Sword, are all the combo items. And as they are said, they are combo items, which means you have to pick up a combination of particular items during your run, you know, like Pixel Shadow Juice. You get this by collecting a Pixel Juice and a Shadow Juice during your run. So while this is active, if you pick up this, so yeah, you pick up the Pixel Juice, and while the Pixel Juice is activated, you grab a Shadow Juice, you'll get Shadow Pixel Juice. If sometime during Stanley's run you pick up a Dark Energy Sword and a Light Energy Sword, or in Sydney's case you pick up a Light Loaf and a Dark Loaf, you'll get the Twilight Sword and Twilight Loaf respectively. And as I said with the Chombo boots, if you collect certain boots at the same time, which are not duplicates of themselves, you'll get the combo boots. Like this one, it's the bouncy jump boots. It's the double jump boots and the bouncy boots. You pick up one of these while the other is active, you get this boot. If you pick up the jump boots, the double jump boots, while you grab a pair of spike boots, you'll get this boot. You know? And I'm guessing that third one is if you get a pair of bouncy boots while you have spike boots active, you'll get what? Bouncy spike boots? And the other stuff is like maybe a Pixel Juice and a cookie or something like that. There are still some other items that I have to get. You know, I don't have the parachute, I don't have the cleaver, I don't have the mind control device, I don't have the speed juice. And by the looks of things, it looks like if you combine the speed juice with either the shadow juice, you'll get that one, the speed juice and the pixel juice, you get that one. And then if you collect all three juices, you'll get the other one on the far end of this, which I'm probably going to call the Chombo juice. It's probably going to be called the Chombo juice, knowing Cleaversoft, because if you get all three of the boots, it's called Chombo Mega Boots. But if you get all three of the drinks, it'll probably be like the Chombo Punch or the Chombo Mega Drink or something like that. Last question. Not last question yet. Second to last question. How do you ride the bull? I don't know how to ride the bull yet. Every time I've encountered the bull, I've either run into it and taken damage, or I bounce off of it. But yes, it is possible for you to ride the bull. When I figure that out, I'll let you know. Somebody has probably said how to ride the bull on the Discord server. I haven't seen anyone say how to ride the bull on the Discord server. So when I find out, I'll let you know. Now, the last question. Are there any secrets or Easter eggs in this game, like hidden characters or whatnot? Well, one of them I just talked about, and that was the extra dragon in the thermosphere that's white and looks like a skeleton. From what I have seen, based off of the photos on Cleaversoft's Instagram page, there is one where Stan looks like a toddler. I don't know if you can play as Baby Stan during a run, but that would be hilarious. What would he actually swing? Would he have like a big rattle to smack all the enemies with while going through a run? Matter of fact, what would toddler Sydney do? Would she have a miniature version of the dragon spirit? That would be rather interesting. That's all I'm going to say about this Q&A. I want to just say thank you to everyone who did enjoy the Q&A session. If you did find any of this helpful or informative, show your love, hit the like button, and even share this video with everyone you know, including everyone in your EarthNight and Dragon Slaying communities. Thanks for watching, thanks for hearing me out, and I hope I didn't put you to sleep with a sciencey explanation of the atmospheres. More EarthNight is on the way, but for now, I've got some dragon planning to do, so I'm done. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye.